But there's no way that alone would be enough to get him kidnapped. I suspect it has to do with me. Ah, excuse me. I forgot to introduce myself. I've never had the pleasure of doing so before. I am Turing. I know this must sound quite unflattering, but I suppose you could describe me as one of Hayden's experiments. He's currently researching advanced machine intelligence at Parallax. I am a personal side project of his. Exploring true artificial sapience. It's possible that the idea of a sapient machine could scare or tempt an organization into kidnapping him, either to stop his research or to take it and use it for themselves. A regular ROM has virtual intelligence. They can appear rather smart, even human-seeming when you talk to them. But they're just cleverly programmed to respond to a variety of situations in an organic manner. They aren't in any way self-deterministic. As for myself, much of my code wasn't actually written by Hayden, but rather compiled during my infancy as I learned to interact with the world around me. But despite my ability to self-modify my code, I am afraid to adapt or develop any further without Hayden's guidance. Did he only program me with the illusion of free will? How would you? Hayden once told me that his desire to create artificial life stemmed from his need to find out. But I can't say I have any new insight into the question. How can any of us tell that we aren't just puppets dancing to someone else's will? You're right. I apologize for the tangent. Indeed, time is of the essence. I took the liberty of charging the AutoCab fare from here to Hayden's apartment to your personal finance account, and the car has just arrived.
And here we go.
That's strange. Well, the door for our home seems to have already been repaired. I'm certain my audio sensors picked up the sounds of his assailants breaking the lock. It's possible. Most of the repairs to the building are handled by the automated systems. At best, it means someone is aware there's a situation here. Let's proceed carefully. Oh, a lucky break! It seems my access codes still work. Hayden's door has far better security than yours does. Will do. I'm not surprised. Hayden is not the most physically intimidating of individuals. I doubt he could have fought off a serious assault. I should have stayed and tried to protect him. Of course not. How silly. To make a machine intelligence truly self-deterministic, it must be able to self-modify. Any sapient worth their silicon would be able to code around such an inhibitor eventually. I could rip your arm off right now if I cared to. I I won't for the same reason you don't go around randomly killing people. The social contract, as a useful construct, is just as apparent to me as it is to you. It simply isn't acceptable to go on a murderous rampage. Self-defense and defense of one's home and family is typically allowed, though. I could have and may even have been obligated to come to Hayden's defense. But Excellent point. Let's start searching for clues. That's Hayden's computer. Most people just use a hand screen or goggles in conjunction with their ROM, but desktop rigs like this are still more suitable to the intensive programming tasks Hayden needs to perform. Unfortunately, no, I don't. And before you ask, I don't think I would be able to break past its security in any reasonable length of time. Your door used a much simpler set of algorithms with a much weaker processor. I actually have a bit less free processing power than a regular ROM, despite my powerful CPU. Much of those extra clock cycles are used to maintain my complex personality algorithms. Hayden's computer has enough spare processing power to run counter-intrusion software, if I attempt to slice in. Frankly, even if I did have the power capability, I haven't found hacking to be one of my talents. I could, but much in the same way you might learn a task and still have no aptitude for it, I'm not certain I would be able to do the job any better than an experienced computer security expert. The whole reason humans have always been better at breaking into systems than the systems are at keeping them out is because humans have intuition. While computers can only think in straight lines, humans can think sideways and upside down. I lack that ability. Well, I wouldn't say that, but as silly as it sounds, I just don't think I'm very good with computers. I do seem to have some skill with painting, though. Hayden was impressed with some of my pieces, but I'm not sure he has a firm enough grasp of early 20th century abstract expressionism to give me an objective opinion. That's true. Machines are best at reproduction, still life, impressionism, photorealism. But I find it more challenging and satisfying to paint what I feel.
Better than all at home. Is a picture of Hayden traveling all over the world, working at the company like Parallax, ensures he'll be more than well off. The television is flipping through some of Hayden's feeds. Tech banter, Ted's co-tips, Augmented Eye.
Hayden likes the natural light that this apartment affords. This window here is where I escaped from. It is a considerable distance to the ground below. critical system damage would be unlikely, but I would certainly have damaged my legs beyond repair, so... I took the fire escape. Hayden spends so much of his time at home building ROMs, as if he doesn't do enough of that at work. Oh, I think I see something under those reference books. Ah, that device. I find it rather annoying that he prefers to go basic rather than entrust me with his schedule. It is well within my skill set, but he claims he does not want me to begin to feel subservient to him. The memory card slot is empty. It seems to be a match for the memory card you discovered. Hayden must have removed the memory card in order to prevent his assailants from easily tracing his connections. If only he had kept his information stored with me, he would not have had to resort to such crude measures. Not really. I guess we'll have to go ask. Says here they were going to meet at a club called Stardust, located in the Castro district. I'll mark it on your city map. We can head over there and ask around about this Tomcat character. Perhaps they can shine some light on why Hayden was snatched. Oh, excuse me. I still haven't set up a user account for you in my system. We shouldn't put that off any longer. Once finished, I will have an assortment of new ways to assist you. For example, I'll be able to reroute any call or message that you receive while we're out and about. I just need to ask you a few questions. This is an exciting thing, I promise. This is just how things are done. I'm certain I could spend a few quadrillion clock cycles to bypass that part of my operating system, but that seems less efficient than just running the setup program. So, here we go! Welcome to the first-time user setup for your new relationship and organizational manager running the latest build of Parallax's Live Intelligence Processing System. I'll need to ask you a few questions, and then you can get right to managing your life with your new ROM. If you have any questions, feel free to consult our online FAQ and setup guide, or contact our support department directly. First, could you tell me your preferred name for use in account creation, online communications, and conversational speech?
Let's use my nickname.
wish to keep this name. Thank you. I have input your name. Next, could you tell me which pronouns I should use for you in referential and conversational speech?
See, this is very interesting to me just because pronouns. It's always so interesting that they, even now, it's she or he. But with this game, they went as far as to give you this option: they, them, theirs. Of course, I'm gonna go with he, him, his, because that's what I am. Oh, you can even make custom ones. I don't know about these. I never heard these, and these are interesting. But again, like I said, I am a he, him, so.
Thank you. I have input your pronouns. Finally, could you tell me your preferred diet for use in restaurant recommendations? Diet set as omnivorous. Are you sure? Thank you for confirming. I have obtained your physical location from GPS and will load local data into my memory as it becomes available. Please review your submitted profile information for accuracy, or restart setup to enter it again. In review. Does that sound right? Thank you. See, that was relatively painless. You should now also be able to access the local map of Neo SF. The meeting with Tomcat isn't until later this evening. Perhaps we should head back to your apartment for now. I'm sure we can find some common ground while getting to know one another better. It will be an efficient use of our time together. Thank you for escorting me here. Let's head back to your home.
This is so much nicer because I don't have to sit there and read everything. This game does not autosave, so please be sure to save frequently. Do that. Because again, this one has multiple choices for you. And you need to be careful with your choices. Because it could either be a good ending or a bad ending. I got the good ending, but I didn't get all the good achievements.
You know your Crassula ovata isn't doing very well. Have you been overwatering it? It's actually a succulent, and since I'm assuming you leave this window open all the time, it should get more than enough water just from the occasional rain blowing in. Speaking of the rain, your decorative plant may be doing poorly, but the mildew in your drywall is flourishing. I have, in fact, already taken the liberty of sending a request to his office. And considering the broken window, broken sink, and the lingering sense of disrepair, I am not confident he has a history of following through. I would suggest confronting him in person, but I have run a mesh search, and the man is a convicted felon for assault and battery with a deadly weapon. Perhaps we should bring some sort of a bribe? I will continue to formulate a stratagem. How thoughtful of them! The Crassula ovata, also known as the jade plant, money tree, lucky tree, or friendship tree, is an excellent and easy to care for houseplant. They make beautiful bonsai, are suitable for beginners, and have some cultural significance both in the Far East and America as a token for good financial luck. Most likely an urban legend, but still a nice gift. I'd like your authorization to have a few tools shipped here. If I replant it into a more suitable pot with sandier soil, it should be thriving again soon. You just have to remember to water it less frequently. Considering the state of your apartment, I'd have figured you'd neglect it rather than drown it. Ironic, since it would be doing better if you had. Excellent. The supplies should be here soon. I ordered from a place close by to keep the shipping costs down. Oh, one other thing. When I was doing the research on how to best take care of the Crassula ovata, I stumbled upon the persistent belief that talking to plants improves their health. There is scientific evidence that shows there may be something to the notion, but the methodology in the studies was a bit shaky, so it could all be rank superstition. Anyway, I'll have this plant flourishing in no time. If left in direct sunlight, the leaves gain a pretty red tinge to their edges, and it should start flowering in the autumn. It'll really pull the whole room together. You know, once we get the sink fixed. Oh, it's almost the time Hayden had scheduled to meet with Tomcat. We should make our way to Stardust soon. Your city map is updated with the location.
So, doing that, I'm gonna talk to the plant.
With more of that, we'll surely be on the way to lush greenery in no time.
This action will have consequences. Probably. Let's see. So, given that it did say that, we're going to save. And you can see I saved multiple times. If you look at all of these, but I'm thinking, since this is a new one, let's give it a name. Let's see. New beginnings. I guess it can't be too big. Let's see. Plant. There you go. Let's see. Let's continue. So I would, if for anyone new that's playing this game, I would strongly recommend you have multiple saves and be careful with what you do. Just because, again, there are many choices to this game. But with that, let's go to where we need to go.
Well, this looks like the place, assuming the flashing neon signs are telling the truth. From the sounds of the music, things are already underway at Stardust, even so early. Hopefully we can find Tomcat inside, and some answers.
All right, looks good to me. Welcome to Star.
This is the place. Have you ever been here before?
Nope.